Hi, I'm Barbie Romero, the Director of Event Programming at MediaPost. Welcome to our Brand Insider series, Ask Me Anything. This is your chance to ask our past speakers what's on your mind. Today we have with us Jennifer Brown, Director of Influencer Marketing and Talent Partnerships. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, Barbie.
Nice to have you. I'm wearing my Shein sweater that
Oh,
I ordered before, so
love
I'm
it.
excited for this interview, and I'm a fan, and my friends are too. Like, my friend was just telling me about how she got some really great deals on the app the other day. So happy
Oh,
to.
great. Great. I love to hear that. Yeah, recently, a lot of people like when they find out I work at Shein, they have to show me their latest Shein cart. So, great, you're wearing a sweater. I'm wearing a Shein sweater too. So, like, we're already gonna, have the best time.
That's great. So talking about the carts and like people probably add like thousands of products to their cart every day, and you guys also add thousands of styles to the website every day. So the first question is, how do you know where to focus your influencer marketing strategy on? There's so many products on the website, and people might be like surprised that there's home goods in there, for example. So how do you know where to focus your efforts every day?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Having so many products on the site is an opportunity and a challenge for our brand because you want your customers to find the right and relevant products for them.
Mhm.
And so one big initiative we have been having this year is to draw awareness to our Shein Trend stores. And so our Shein Trend stores, think of them as mini shops within Shein for every different fashion aesthetic. So if you want something a little bit more edgy for a Gen A, like we have a brand called Romway. If you want something a little bit more classy and elevated and luxe, we have a great Shein trend store called Anusta. So we have been placing a big emphasis on drawing awareness to these Shein trend stores and encouraging our customers to find the right Shein trend store for their aesthetic and be able to shop the site that way. And so we are tapping into this through our influencer program as well. So take Stagecoach. We activated at Stagecoach last weekend. We are what the official fashion sponsor of Stagecoach. And so we wanted to use this opportunity to draw awareness to the Shein trend stores that we knew were the most relevant for festival fashion and even specifically Western fashion aesthetic. So my team and I used, the data we had from our website to see which Shein trend stores we felt would really hone in on this and would resonate with the talent. So we focused on Musera, Misguided, Shein Bay, and Shein Icon, and essentially featured product from these Shein trend stores throughout the weekend. We had a beautiful house where we were hosting the influencers. We had a mini gifting suite on site where they could shop each Shein trend store and get to learn the aesthetic of them. And so we are essentially with every different campaign, whether it's Mother's Day or a Stagecoach or a summer, we are identifying which Shein trend stores are relevant to that campaign and amplifying them accordingly.
Oh, that's a very cool strategy. I'm gonna have to go on your website and take a look. I'm about to go on a cruise, so
Okay, yeah. Well,
very
I'll,
cool.
I'll tell you some of my favorites. Like lately, my favorite is Misguided, but maybe for a cruise, you want to do like a Shein Vacay or
Okay.
even a Noosta actually has some like really great resort wear pieces. So have fun. I could talk about that all day. So
Sounds good. And so talking about the partnerships at the Retail Summit, you spoke about being able to walk away from partnerships that aren't as authentic, or the influencer isn't as excited to be. So how do you do that? Like, do you have any advice for marketers that perhaps they see that there's like an influencer that is very popular but isn't as authentic or effective for them? How do they say no? Especially the ones that like get like inbound requests, and you're like it just might not be a fit. How do you say no? How do you walk away? Do you have any advice on that?
yeah, I think saying no can be very empowering, but I think as marketers, we want to be efficient and strategic with our time. And so it's more important to be intentional about who you're walking towards. as opposed to who you're walking away from. And that's something that has taken, us a few years to really identify that it's more important to have a really thorough vetting process, and ensure that there's that alignment between your influencer and your brand. And you want the partnership to be true to your brand story as well as to your influencer's brand story, and for there to be that genuine excitement and synergy between the brands. So I feel like I want to be more intentional about who we're walking towards as opposed to who we're walking away from, and really focus on those creators and those relationships and building those long-term partnerships that are going to have that long tail effect.
Right. And you want someone that uses your product at the end of the day. You want like
Yeah.
an authentic fan, basically. You don't want someone that's just just trying to get paid. So
I know. And believe me, people will tell you if they can sense it like from a mile away. And so you'll see all the comments accordingly. So you want to avoid that, and find those partners that are excited about the brand, just as much as you are excited to be a part of their, story as well.
great. So let's shift gears a bit. The next question we have from the audience is different regional markets. Like, how do you adapt the influencer strategies? Like right now in New York, it's spring, but I don't know, in Florida, I assume it's extremely hot right now. So, do you target people based on regions? How do you change your influencer marketing strategies that way?
Yeah, I think I said in during the retail summit, like at our core, Shein is a tech company, and so we're constantly looking at the data to see where are moments for our brand and where those moments can be and how to capitalize on them. So we last year, I think a great example of this was last year, we leveraged a lot of our sales data and survey data, and we saw that Gen Z had an appetite for the wedding category on our site. And they were buying everything from affordable wedding dresses to bridesmaids dresses, everything for your bachelorette party, even, the night of the wedding, all that stuff. So we thought, how can we capitalize on this and take advantage of drawing awareness to this wedding category? And where better to do that than the wedding capital of the United States, Las Vegas. So we did a wedding pop-up slash wedding chapel in Las Vegas. It was like literally part pop-up where you could get a Shein wedding dress, you get something for your groom and get Vegas married. They weren't real marriages, but get Vegas married. And then you could shop our retail pop-up and get, everything from your bachelorette night out dresses to, all the fun stuff I mentioned before. And from a talent perspective, my role was essentially casting our celebrity officiants that were Vegas marrying these couples that would really help push this activation from a PR perspective and a brand awareness perspective. And so I kind of thought, okay, who would you want to get Vegas married by? Like, who's a couple that you just get you all excited and get you all the feels. So we partnered with um, Love is Blind stars, Lauren and Cameron Reed. They were like one of the Netflix darlings from the first season of the show. And so it was so great to partner with them. They were on site, they were wearing Shein Belle, trend store, and looking beautiful and posting on social. They did a ton of PR interviews around it. And so I think that's kind of a fun example of using that sales data to capitalize on a moment or a category to, draw that brand awareness in a really fun way.
That sounds like a really fun activation. It must have been fun to be there and see all the people get Vegas married
It was
and
super
branding.
fun. It was super fun.
And talking about like these partnerships, is there a memorable influencer partnership that had a significant impact on brand awareness that you guys? I know that you've been at Shein for a few years now, so if you think back, is there one that you really love?
Yeah, I mean, I think I always go back to our partnership with Anita. She's a global pop star. We did her first ever we did a festival collection with her right before her first ever Coachella performance in 2022. And since then, we've done three collections with her and partnered with her in other various ways. And I think our most recent collab with her last year is probably the one I'm the most proud of because it shows how you're able to grow like with your partners. And it was up in partnership with our Evolution uh, line, which is all the products are essentially made from sustainable materials and sustainable fabrics.
Mhm.
And then to further kind of elevate that partnership, we also tied in our SHEIN X designer incubator program. So essentially, the SHEIN X program is where the brand partners with up and coming designers to where they do all the designing and then we do all the producing and manufacturing and marketing for the products, and they get a, you know, to the portion of the profits. And so we partnered with designers in the US, Latin America, you know, Brazil, where Anita is from, Europe. She hand selected the designers that were a part of the collection. And they, you know, had anywhere from like 5 to 10 pieces each. And, you know, had a great photo shoot for that. But I think it kind of shows how you can evolve with your partners and find more meaningful ways to expand upon the partnership. And it was something that was really important to Anita's brand story as well as ours. So that's probably one of the ones that I'm the most proud of.
That's really cool. That's really cool to see. Like you get to learn things that you'll do better the next year and going forward. So that
Yeah.
partnership just evolves over time.
And it's important, I think, to have those partnership, like those conversations with talent and be like, okay, how can we do it better? Like, what's important to you this year? Like, how can we support each other? And I think that's why, you know, the partnership with Anita has been so special is because each year we found a way to elevate it and expand upon it and, you know, celebrate those moments in her career as and be a part of hers as well.
Very cool partnership. I'm an Anita fan, I'll admit. So I'll need to see what you guys have in store this year. So then the last question we have submitted from the audience is what metrics are becoming more important in evaluating influencer performance beyond likes and shares? So a lot of people might go for the likes and shares, but
Mhm.
those sometimes aren't enough to drive business. So are there any metrics you can share?
Yeah, you know, I feel like when you were talking about likes and shares, that's like the old days. Now it's so much more nuanced than that. I think for something that I've seen become more and more important is the comment sentiment analysis. So not just looking at the quantity of comments, but the quality of them.
Mhm.
And there's, you know, typically you're categorizing those into positive, negative, and neutral. But I think what's become even more important is nuance. So you're looking at emotionality, like how are people responding to this branded piece of content? What is that emotional response? Are they frustrated? Are they confused? Are they excited? You know, is there sarcasm in the tone of the comment? Are they like, you know, we've even gone as far as looking at like what emojis like are people associating with the brand and this content, and you know, how does that, you know, show how people are responding to this content. So I think that's been really fun to really dive into. We work really closely with our social community team to monitor each campaign after it goes live. I always tell my team, like, it doesn't stop once the content goes live. You're not just checking the captions and making sure they uploaded the right piece of content and, you know, all the hashtags and everything are there, but you need to look immediately like at the comments and see how people are reacting. And you know, while we are monitoring it, we also have great tools. We use Pulsar and Dash Hudson to make sure we're staying on top of that common sentiment analysis. So that's been something that I feel like is becoming more and more. It's always been important, but I think really honing in on that nuance part is especially critical.
That's very helpful. And so thank you for answering all the questions. Now we're part of the show where I'll ask you some rapid fire questions, quick answers only. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What is your go-to favorite Shein item?
We have a activewear brand, Glow Mode. It's great. They have a romper that has sucks you in at all the right places. It's my go-to piece. I take it everywhere when I travel. It's the best.
Awesome. So in the beginning of the interview, I said that some people might not know there's a home section at Shein.
Yeah.
Is there a surprising item that most people don't know about in the store?
Um, for me, I have to take myself out of it because I feel like I know about everything. But we have a great kids clothing line called Cozy Pixies. I
Mhm.
have two daughters, so I'm always getting them like cute pieces, really great fabrics, so I can feel good about what they're wearing. But if it gets dirty, it's okay, because I'm not spending a fortune on their clothing.
Great. And a lot of people like to talk about the marketing buzzword they hate, but is there one that you love?
I feel like I always say, let's take a step back. Like, let's take a step back and focus on XYZ. So that or pivot. Um,
Yeah, I think pivot's starting to be the word of the year this year. I feel like I hear it every day now,
yeah,
or maybe multiple times a day.
yeah.
Well, thanks,
Fun.
Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Barbie.
And
Tell me
thanks to
about what you get for the cruise. You
yes, I
got
will. I will let you know. Uh,
okay.
yeah. And thanks to the audience for tuning in. If you have any questions or would like to be in the hot seat yourself, contact me at barbie@mediapost.com. Take care.